So Riot Games just did something that's got the entire esports world arguing. They've officially decided to allow sports betting companies to sponsor League of Legends and Valorant teams. The same Riot Games that banned gambling sponsors for over a decade just flipped the switch. It's one of those moves that makes sense financially, but feels risky as hell when you think about who plays and watches these games. Today, we're going to break down what Riot changed, why they did it, what rules they put in place to keep things safe, and why some fans think this is the beginning of the end for competitive integrity in esports. For years, Riot kept a strict wall between esports and gambling. No betting logos, no casino sponsors, nothing that could hint at gambling money. But as the esports bubble started to burst, sponsorships drying up, teams folding, leagues losing money, Riot had to face reality. The scene was bleeding cash. Teams started pushing back, saying, "We need new sponsors or we won't survive." So Riot finally gave in, but with a long list of guardrails. So let's break this down clearly. Teams in the top tier League of Legends and Valorant leagues can now partner with sports betting brands, but there are rules. Any betting sponsor has to go through Riot's approval process first. They must use official grid data, basically a verified stat source, to avoid shady data mining or rigging odds. Teams have to create integrity programs internally to prevent match fixing or player bribery. Betting logos are not allowed on jerseys during Riot's official events or streams. Riot's own channels, the broadcasts, websites, social pages, will stay betting free. And Riot claims a portion of sponsorship revenue will go towards supporting smaller tier 2 teams and player education. In other words, Riot saying, we'll allow it, but we'll control it. So what's the real reason? Money. Let's not sugarcoat it. The esports economy has been struggling. Many orgs rely almost entirely on sponsorships, and traditional sponsors are leaving. Betting companies, on the other hand, are throwing money at sports right now. And according to Riot's own numbers, over $10 billion in bets were placed on League and Valorant matches just last year, mostly in unregulated markets. So Riot's logic is simple. If it's happening anyway, better to bring it into the light, regulate it, and take a cut, rather than pretending it doesn't exist. And honestly, that's not the worst argument. If Riot's system works the way they say it will, this could bring much needed funding to struggling teams, professionalize betting relationships with transparency and data oversight, give fans access to legal, more trustworthy platforms, and funnel money back into the ecosystem to support growth. The optimistic take is, this is Riot trying to mature esports just like traditional sports did. Because if you think about it, the NFL, NBA, Formula One, they all have betting partners now. The stigma has faded. So maybe Riot's just trying to grow up too. But here's where the concern kicks in. Esports isn't football. Its audience is younger, more global, and spends a lot more time online. Introducing gambling sponsors here brings 3 huge problems. 1, match fixing risk skyrockets. Even with Riot's guardrails, adding money and odds to the equation always tempts someone to cheat. It's human nature, unfortunately. 2, gambling exposure. Younger players, 13, 14, 15 years old, see betting brands on team socials or streams, and it normalizes gambling as part of gaming culture. That's a moral minefield. 3, community trust. Riot has a long history of monetization controversies, overpriced skins, event passes, and now this. So when they say, don't worry, we'll handle it responsibly, a lot of fans just don't buy it. One player on Reddit put it bluntly. There's no responsible way to put gambling ads in a game for teenagers. And that's hard to argue with. This isn't just about Riot. This is a domino that could topple across the entire industry. If this works and teams start making serious money again, other publishers will follow. Imagine Valve doing it with CS2 or Dota 2. Imagine Epic introducing betting partnerships in Fortnite tournaments. But if it blows up, if even one match fixing scandal happens, regulators will step in fast. And the whole esports scene could get slammed with restrictions. So Riot's not just testing a new revenue model, they're testing whether esports can be trusted to grow up responsibly. The next few months will tell us everything. Which teams sign betting partners, how do fans react when those logos start appearing on jerseys, even off broadcast, and most importantly, will this stabilize the esports economy or fracture it even more. For now, Riot's calling this a controlled experiment. But experiments have outcomes, and not all of them are good. Here's the truth. Riot's move isn't just about gambling, it's about survival. The esports dream, big arenas, million-dollar teams, global fandom, only works if there's money to sustain it. And betting money, for better or worse, is the easiest fix. But once you let that genie out of the bottle, it's almost impossible to put it back. So Riot's gamble isn't just financial, it's ethical. And the question now is whether the esports world can handle what comes next. If you've got thoughts on this, good or bad, drop them in the comments. Would you be okay seeing betting sponsors on your favorite team jerseys, or do you think Riot just crossed a line? Either way, this is one of the biggest shifts we've seen in competitive gaming in years, and it's only the beginning.